John 10:1. Amen, amen dico vobis, qui non intrat per ostium in ovile ovium, sed ascendit aliunde, ille furest, et latro. Truly, truly, I say to you, whoever does not enter through the door into the sheepfold of sheep, but goes up another way, this man is a thief and a robber. Now, given that the syntax is fairly straightforward for us English speakers, as it pretty much maps onto the English word order, we can move straight into the interesting things in the text. First among them is amen, amen dico vobis. This is a phrase frequently used by Jesus to indicate the gravity of whatever follows. Going through John, you've probably come across this a few times already. Next up, you have this verb of motion towards, intrat, which takes two prepositions in this case, both with their object in the accusative. Now for per, this is par for the course. All of its objects are going to be in the accusative. However, for in, you have this particularly because it is a verb of motion towards. Otherwise, it tends to prefer the ablative case. If you looked at ovile and we're not familiar with it immediately, this is totally fine and natural. It's not a particularly common word. However, it should suffice to say that it means something along the lines of a sheepfold or a flock of sheep. Now you may be asking, if this is the case that it means a sheepfold or a flock of sheep, why is it then immediately followed by ovium, of sheep? It may seem a little bit redundant to repeat oneself as to say a sheepfold of sheep, and one commentator even notes this very point. However, for the translator, this seemed to be a perfectly natural idiom for the time. Another word that you may not have immediately got the meaning of when looking at it is aliunde. However, you may have had an intuitive sense of what it meant given the particle unde, and then by conjunction with the other portion, a also very common particle, ali, from alius, alia, aliud. You may take a stab at a guess and say that it means something like from another place or from elsewhere. If this be the case, you were right. Lastly, we have two words for thief here of a different kind with slightly different nuances. Fur is the one you're probably most familiar with as thief, but you also have latro. If you know any Spanish, it may be useful for your memorization of this word to know that this word gives rise to the word ladrón.